What up, good people? It is. What is it? Uh, it
It's
is.
the 3rd of February.
It's the 3rd of February.
There's
It's Stay Faithful
there's Ty. I can
podcast,
see him. I can see
and
Ty.
having all kinds of weird technical problems tonight, but we are making it happen. Thanks for joining us, David. How you doing tonight, good buddy?
I think the internet and devices are hating on Niner fans right now, and it's like, why? We're not even in the Super Bowl. Like, why are you hating on us? You
You know
know.
what I mean? What did
Um,
we do to y'all? What did we do to y'all? My goodness. Shout out to East Coast Red and Gold podcast. My partners in crime. It's probably Jess. What's up, Jess? Jason's in the house. What's going on, Jason? All right, we're gonna do a quick and dirty show tonight because David's got plans. He's a man with a plan, and we're gonna keep this short and simple
yep.
because the news of the day is that Cleveland's Browns defensive end Myles Garrett has requested a trade. Now, I'm not going to read his whole statement. You can go to his socials and read for yourself and go and check it out. But basically, he wants to join a contender. He's at that point in his career where he wants a ring, and there's nothing wrong with that. And we know, naturally, the 49ers have been looking for years for a defensive end to put outside of Nick Bosa, on the opposite side of Bosa, I should say. And Myles Garrett would definitely fit the part. And, people have been asking, should the 49ers trade for him? I don't think that's the question. The question is obviously yes, you should try to, but what should it cost? What should it cost? But David, first of all,
That
I want to get your thoughts on, the potential of having a Myles Garrett opposite, Nick Bosa on the defensive line. No brainer, yes or no?
it it is kind of it is a no brainer. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
having those two edges, with Leonard Floyd and Gross Matos to come in to spell them. I mean, that's monster, right? That's
Yeah.
monstrous. That's like a deep defensive end. All of a sudden, where we got nothing to worry about on edge, and he's reliable. He hardly misses games.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, he is very consistent. I think what has he gotten? 14 sacks or something in how many seasons?
Yeah,
I don't
a
remember.
million
I remember
seasons in a
seeing it.
row. Like, it's been
Yes,
every season except for his rookie season, I think. He's been in double digits
and
and up there.
oh yeah, so having him on the other side of Bosa, it's like how are teams going to contend with this? Now the guy that you're throwing to chip Bosa to make it easier on the tackle, you're going to throw him over there. You're going to throw him at
Mm-hmm.
Garrett.
Yeah.
It's like that's going to take more personnel out of off the field more or less and into the backfield to have to contend with that, and that'll help the rest of our defense out. So
Exactly.
there's a lot of benefits to having Myles Garrett, but the question of the day, what are they asking,
Yeah. And that's the
right?
key question. As Jason says, Miles over Bosa, and it's not being close. You know what? I kind of agree with you. I think Miles is an all around, overall better and more consistent player. But to have them two together as bookends on the line would be phenomenal. But as you said, David, what would it cost? What would the Browns be looking for in terms of a return package, right? We're talking about a
Yes,
team that's down in dumps. They got a lot of needs. Um, they can take as much as they're going to get. So let's start with picks, right? What would you give up for Myles Garrett? Right now, we currently have the number 11 pick. Is that on the table?
I mean he's a great player and everything. Um, he is 29, and
Yep.
but I mean he's proven himself. He's going to have several good seasons in him.
Yep.
Is he worth the 11th overall pick? I would I would honestly think so. I honestly think he is.
Hmm.
Um,
What's up, David?
is he worth a slew of picks? I'm gonna say no,
Ooh.
because we can't be mortgaging our future for one player on the trenches that doesn't fix all our problems, right?
True. He fixes a big one though, but not all of
He
them.
does. He does.
If he does fix a big one. So, like, I want you
Oh
to
no.
put on your GM hat for a second. What kind of package, if it was just picks, what would you do?
Well, I would throw like a one. I mean, we have compensatory picks. I don't know when are our compensation picks this year. Is it the fourth?
I know the first one is at the bottom of the third round, pick number 99 overall. And
I
I
always
believe
seem
you
to have
have
that.
a fourth and a fifth.
Okay. So, why not go a number one and throw in the compensation picks in the fourth and fifth? I mean, give him three
Hmm.
picks. Here you go. But, obviously he doesn't want to play there anymore.
Right.
So, I think the question of the day is, what will they accept for him? I mean, what
Right.
what kind of contract does he come with? Let's look at the whole picture here, because I know he
Well,
signed an extension.
he signed an extension. Now he has 2 years, basically 2 years left on his contract before you get
Okay,
into the void years, which, as we know, don't even count. So it's 2 years left. Depending on who you talk to, the cap hits can be $6 million. That's rounded up. $6 million, or they could be $20 million. I'm still trying to get clarity on that. But
okay.
seeing as how we have a lot of money rolling over and the cap's going up, we can fit him under our cap. That's not. I don't think the cap compensation is an issue. We can handle that.
I know a guy.
And
I think I'll
Justin's
send
saying
him
two
a
years
DM
less,
and
6.1 million again. So I think 6.1 million low end, three the high end.
wow. Well, I
Three to
kind of
20.
wish I knew. I kind of wish like Jason Hurley was with us here. I'd be like, buddy, what's his cap number actually going to be?
He knows for sure.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know a guy I can DM and ask. I mean, but right now we're a month and a half away from any of this happening, though, right?
Yes, when the new league year begins, that's when
And
everything
that's
will
like,
go down.
isn't that March 14th?
March 14th or 15th. Yeah, it's mid March definitely.
Yep.
To for Cleveland to move him now, I think would be too much on them or something. But I know he has a roster bonus due like mid March, so they probably want to move him before that roster bonus hits.
I bet it's like the day the
Thank you,
new
Jess.
league year comes. Here it is, and then the day after the new league year comes, I bet that's when he gets that roster bonus.
Yeah, that's probably
That makes
something like
sense.
that. So yeah, so we probably want to move him like as soon as, right? Which we know can happen. They manipulate dates and such all the time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
March 12th is the new league year.
Yep. Tell you it's early. It's mid
Dang,
March, so it's hitting.
that's
It's coming
coming up. I
fast.
think last
Yeah.
year it was the 14th, if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah. All right.
yeah,
So
it's the Browns cap
let's
hit that makes the subject moronic.
run it. Yeah. Yeah. If they move him early, they get hit. But Jason came up with some good numbers. Our 11th, our 99th, and 2026 second. Now, I don't think that's a bad deal. If they would go for that, let them go for
That doesn't sound terrible.
it. It's not.
Um, but so they'll Ooh, so they would take a 35 million dead cap hit on Garrett.
Yeah.
And what are they going to take? You know what? Hold on. Look what the Broncos did, guys. Come on. They moved on from Russell Wilson. How much of a cap hit did they take that year?
And that's the thing we got to remember. Teams are willing to take a cap hit if they want to move away from a player. They're not afraid to eat that money. We've seen it happen in the past. Speaking of the Broncos, wasn't it the Broncos who traded away like Brock Osweiler or somebody and its entire contract to the Texans and ate the money? Like they even said we'll pay the contract if you just take him. Like they paid him to go away.
Yes.
So
they did.
These things happen. It's not a mystery. So if a guy really wants to go, teams are like, get rid of him. But the Browns did say they don't want to trade him, and I wouldn't want to trade my star player either, knowing as he is the guy.
Well, and then it's like, what are you guys gonna roll with Deshaun Watson? Because he was healthy for most of the year before he got hurt.
He was.
And he still didn't look like his old self.
No, he didn't. That's why I said the Browns are looking for a quarterback. It's been 2 decades. And they're still looking for a quarterback.
This is true.
Now, what if, John Lynch picks up the phone, he calls the Browns, and they're like, hey, we're interested in Myles. And the Browns come right back and say, hey, we're interested in Brock Purdy. We need a quarterback.
Oh, my goodness. Now, I've been big on let's keep the guy. And you know I've been big on that. Because it took Shanahan 6 years to find him. So it's like, yeah. So it's like if they want Brock, QB is a very high value position. So I would feel like we don't have to give them picks. We would need like, I mean, oh man, I would hate to. Okay, let's do a first round pick swap and we end up with their pick. They have the second overall, right?
The second overall pick. So, ooh, man.
Here you
know
go.
What? You know what? It all, like, thinking about it, that's a very Browns thing they would do.
It's like a very Browns thing like the Niners to do.
It's a very Browns thing for them to give away Myles Garrett in the second round pick for a player in a lower pick. But, okay, if you do that, is there a quarterback in this draft class you would take? That too?
What is that guy from Miami's name? Ward?
Cam Ward, who people are projecting to go high.
Yes. Yeah, it's like that's a guy I would definitely be looking at. I mean, there's a few. There's always like a couple QBs in the draft, but you look at like 2021, Trevor Lawrence, and he's not that great. I think he's the only QB to come out of that draft. 2022, who do you got? Cody Pickett's the guy backing up Jalen Hurts. Yeah. So there is always that chance that the guy's not going to turn into anything. And that's the scary part here. That is the scary part.
Yeah.
So we got kind of already know we have a guy, and he just finished his 3rd season. No, he's not at the point where he can carry the team yet.
Yes. No.
Right?
But he's ascending. He's still going up. He has a high ceiling already. Let me get my hand in the camera. And he's still going up. So.
Well, it's like, and Cam Ward, I mean, that's you obviously heard that was the only name to come out of my mouth.
Yeah.
But the thing is would the Tennessee Titans take him?
They need a quarterback. I don't think they're sold on Will Levis at all. especially getting a new
Yeah.
GM now. I think they're going to want to do something there. So we'll see.
So it's incredibly risky.
It's very
It'd be incredibly risky to trade
yeah,
Brock.
indeed.
Um,
Now, hold on. Let's table that for a second because the Browns have so many needs, right? They're all over the place. So they also need, beside quarterback, they need a wide receiver, a running back, an offensive tackle. We ain't got none of those. A defensive end of their own, a linebacker, and a kicker. Right?
okay.
So now maybe we can put a package together, right? If you consider all that, perhaps there's a package we can put together.
Well, I mean, wide receiver wise,
What
what
you
I'm
do?
not. I don't feel like I'm going to give up on Purcell because the last couple games he really came around.
Indeed, he did.
You know, um, the only guy I'd probably be willing to wide receiver wise give up. I mean, it is Debo because I don't think Ayuk is tradable in his current physical state.
No one's gonna take a guy coming like off of ACL, like still in it. He's still rehabbing. Like,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. No one's going to
well,
take a chance on that.
if a team would, it would be like Cleveland. But I think they're
Well, it's like
smart enough not to make
here's
that
Debo.
happen,
Here's
right?
Debo. He can make. You know, if Debo made James Garoppolo look good taking those short passes, right?
He did.
So who
He
says he
did.
can't do it for another mid quarterback like Deshaun Watson,
Hold on.
right? Who says he can't
Let me
help
put this
Deshaun
up.
Watson out?
They need. Hold on. I'm just writing on the screen here, folks. They need so I can keep track. A wide receiver,
With his helmet, Steve-O. You forgot with his helmet.
an OT.
That was the Mason Rudolph incident.
Yeah.
I'm sure we all remember that.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what they need.
Tommy, a first, Debo and Jair Brown, and a third.
Third. But they don't need a safety. Unless he's just a throw in. That's a player throw in. I see what you're doing there, Tommy. Let's throw in a player and see if they bite. See, the problem with Debo is his contract is constructed away that I think if we trade him, we take a huge cap hit.
Oh, we will.
Which
But
I don't think they're willing to do.
Well, on the other hand, they trade us Myles Garrett. They're taking a huge cap hit.
Well, that's on them though.
Well, that's
I
what I'm
think,
saying
I
is
think
that
with
the
what we're
trade
trying
kind
to
of,
do, it kind of evens out.
it's
At
the
that
hand in
point. I get what
hand
you're
type of
saying.
cap hit. Both
Right.
teams are taking it, right?
Right. All right. But is there okay? So wide receiver is a question mark because Debo's name has been mentioned. Right. Right. Let's say Debo maybe. But what about a running back? We got quite a little bit of a stable going on here. Could we pitch them on an RB? Maybe.
Well, and Jordan Mason, Jordan Mason's the closest guy to getting the contract. He is a restricted free agent, so we could trade his rights to them.
That's right.
And he proved himself. He looked good. And then they have. I mean, how did the guy come back from that catastrophic knee injury? Didn't he look pretty decent?
Who's that? Which guy?
The Browns running back. Like last year, he had a
Chubb.
catastrophic.
Chubb,
Yes.
yeah, he looked decent, but I think he's a free agent, and I believe they're fearing losing him. Like the Browns have a little bit of a problem keeping players. I think he wants out.
Oh, can you blame the players? It's like
No,
they come
not
here,
at
they're like,
all.
"Ooh, we're playing for the Cleveland Browns," and then they don't. It's like you
Right.
don't have Bernie Kosar anymore.
Nope. Like we said, 20 years looking for that quarterback, 2 decades.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I think they had a Detmer at one point,
Yeah.
if not both. If not both. Um, wow, those guys have actually. I'm starting to think back. There's a couple quarterbacks names that are. I pictured the guy, but his name is escaping me. They've
Right.
took a
Man,
bunch,
I can't remember.
including Johnny Manziel. Right?
Yep.
Including Johnny Manziel.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, they have. They've taken a few quarterbacks, haven't they?
Yeah. A
And
ton.
they just Chicago Bear them, or is it Cleveland Brown them?
They Cleveland
It's
Brown them.
kind of
They're on a level all by themselves. Seriously. All right. So our
it's like
dude.
the Chicago Bears. They had to trade for that guy from the Broncos. And they had a decent QB for a few years there, and but then they picked Mitch Trubinsky, and now
Yeah.
then they Justin Fields, and now Caleb Williams, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Browns have been through that for the last
Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And as Steve-O said, they're about to take a big cap hit on Watson because I think he's washed up. I really don't think he has it anymore. I mean, we mentioned it briefly. He was not looking good during the season, and then he tears his Achilles again. Well, he tore his Achilles, but then he had an Achilles setback where they're saying that he retore it, like messed up the surgery. So, like now he's looking at missing the entire 2025 season. So,
will he ever play again?
and that's the question. And if he does, I don't think it'll be in Cleveland. I think they're done. They're ready to move on.
And that's what. And I honestly think they're going to take a quarterback. I think
Yeah,
the
yeah,
top three teams are taking quarterbacks this year.
I agree with that. They
Um,
need them. They need one.
I have a firm belief in that, and
Yeah,
that's why it's like Myles Garrett. I I would love to have him, but would the trade package work for us?
yeah.
Would we
Well, that's what we're
give
working
it
on
up?
right now. Hold on. We're on
It's like
we're on their needs. We talked about picks. Now we're on to what they need. Maybe we can help them with what they need. So quarterback, no. Brock's off the table. Leave us alone. Running back, Jordan Mason, who's leading the league in rushing this season before he got injured, right? Oh, basically before he got put on the shelf, really. But
yeah.
he's a good player, young, hungry. I think he fits what they do. Debo's a question mark. Offensive tackle. Is there anything we can offer them at offensive tackle?
No,
No, we got nothing.
no.
We can. I don't think we could even like sell them on one of our backups. I don't think it'll work. I don't.
No, it really
Yeah,
won't. It
yeah,
won't.
yeah. Just nothing. Sorry. A defensive end of our own. Would they take a Gross
What,
Matos?
Yeter Gross Matos, the younger guy?
Exactly. Yeah. Would they take a Gross Matos? Like in a package? Could he be something?
He could be. He could be.
Maybe a Drake Jackson coming off an injury.
That would be more like a throw in, like throwing Jair
That's an
Brown.
extra piece, right? Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like here's a guy that hasn't worked out for us, but he did get 3 sacks against the
I know
Steelers.
in
You
that
play the
one
Steelers
game.
twice a
Yeah.
year.
In that one game, they do play them. That could be a selling point. You pay him twice a year, and he went off on them to work out for you. You never know. All right, so I'm going to say Gross Matos here. I think he'd be the only piece that we can say fits. Now, linebacker. Here's the interesting thing. We got little young core linebackers with D. Winters, Jalen Graham,
Tatum Bethune.
Bethune, right? We know Fred Warner's not going anywhere, so we're not even going to mention his name. But We got a little bit of young core in there. Hey, Red Jet, what's going on? Um,
Hey, if
Tommy
the
said
plan was
I
to
do Purdy
re-sign
straight
Dre
up for
Greenlaw,
Miles.
if the
Wait, hold up.
plan was to re-sign Dre Greenlaw, I
Yeah,
wouldn't mind throwing one of these young guys in.
there you go. I'm with you. If I know I got Dre in the bank, then one of these young guys become expendable. But we don't know yet. Now, of course, we heard from the Pro
Tommy.
Bowl, Fred Warner. I know Tommy's crazy. Fred Warner is like, hey, we want him back. And Robert Saleh is like, I want him back. We all want him back. But he's got to come back. There's a lot of
Oh
teams
boy.
with a lot of cap room in there. We got Curtis
Hey,
Robinson coming back. That's very true.
I got someone knocking at my door. I'll be right back.
Go ahead. But that's a good call, Tommy. We got Curtis Robinson coming back, and remember, in preseason before his injury, he was having a heck of a preseason. He looked like he was going to be a major contributor for us. I was real bummed when he went down.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to
But
you later.
like David said, I think it's contingent upon us signing Dre. If Greenlaw comes back, then a lot of these guys are expendable, and we can include them in the trade. Dude, you can't be sniffing that stuff when we're live. You're gonna get me shut down, man. You in there sounding like Tony Montana.
I was blowing. Oh my goodness! I was blowing my nose. Sorry. I'm gonna have to look at my settings and see what my mic's on. It's probably on my dang.
Right, right. Captain says, Dre or not, you go for Miles. Yes, I agree with you, Captain Jason. I mean, that was Tommy. Jeez. I mean, I'm mixing up the names. Jason, we're going for him. We're just trying to figure out the package. Like, what can we throw together here? Hey, you said it, not me. No.
My microphone. I'm actually looking at my microphone right now. Pardon me.
I don't know what you're
Like,
talking
what is
about.
my microphone set on here? It's supposed to be on the
Be
laptop.
nice to everybody.
Like, my bad, folks. I was just blowing my nose. Microphone. Yeah, it says it's on. Interesting.
All right, so the linebacker. We're going to say one of the young LBs. One of them. They're all good. They're cheap. Which after taking all these cap hits, the Browns are going to need cheap, so that helps them. So, I think that could work. And they need a kicker. Could we send them Jake Moody? This is tough. This is tough. I don't know, chat. What you guys think? Should we send Jake Moody to Cleveland? Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, they might remember that missed game-winning kick.
Ooh, that was just a year ago. 2 years ago now.
They might remember that.
But that's because
They
their
really
fans
might.
were wishing him bad juju. If their fans wish him good juju, he'll be making that kick. But I'm saying, should we include Jake in the package? I would say yes.
I would say yes because he's a goner either way, ain't he?
You said it, not me.
Yep. And I've seen several scouting websites that actually say the Michigan guy is the best one. I was like,
Yeah.
you guys said this a couple
I said
years
that too.
ago.
Yeah. I was like, again?
Like, no.
All right. So if we was throwing a package together, we'd say I think we'd go with we'd go with Mason, right? We go with Mason, Gross Matos, a young linebacker, and a kicker. Throw those four together,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that could happen. Fills
Because
their
we're filling all
needs,
kinds of their needs, right?
filling their needs for cheap, which they need cheap, and helps them out because they still get to go out and draft people too, because they got all their picks, which are high. Hey, Tommy, man, we're trying to unload. We don't care about them. We just trying to make a
Damn,
deal.
Steve-O. Steve-O, trade Bosa for Myles, not look at our cap hit. At their cap hit, too. You
Yeah,
know,
they got a big one. They'll have a big one. They'll have a big one either way, and they just have to deal with it. I mean, between Garrett and, like we said, Watson, they're going to be eating money for a long time. But Cleveland's been doing bad business for a long time. That's where we're trying to work out what we can throw them to keep their bad business going and not hurt us.
Hey, Ty, think about this. Remember that horrible trade they made to get Deshaun Watson?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So we throw this package and a draft pick together. They're likely to say, "Oh, you take that."
Like, oh man, we're getting a haul. You couldn't see that, right? Like, wow, look what the Niners are offering us. We're getting a haul here. They're going through their phones, scrolling. Man, we getting this guy and that guy and that guy, and a pick. Oh man, or if we do like something I think was Tommy or Steve-O said, a pick and another pick later. They could be thinking they're getting away with gold. It could happen. It can happen.
That was funny. Before I blew my nose, I should have asked, "Can you hear me?" Don't do drugs, kids. I don't.
Yes, Montana, we heard you. We heard you.
Say hello to my little friend.
But I think as we saw, I think we can put together some pieces, offer them a good deal without killing ourselves, which could make them happy. So this is a possibility, and that's why I want to do this, have this conversation with you, just to explore that. Unlike other trade proposals, propositions, potential ideas that come about, like, oh, let's go get Max Crosby, let's go get this person, that person. I think this scenario is a definite possibility. It's all a matter of what Cleveland is willing to accept. Like, they already came out and said, we're not trading him, we want to keep him, but we know how things go in the background. And all of a sudden, he is on the market and being shopped. So
Go figure.
Yeah. So you got to go for it.
Who put this thing together? Oh. But, it's crazy. So the real crazy thing about this is a player, of high caliber says, I want to be traded instantly. Instantly. Right? The 49ers reporter on it.
Yeah.
Like, wow. It's like Tyreek Hill too. We heard those reports. You heard those, right?
Yep. Definitely heard those when they happened.
And it's like, I don't know if that's cooled off. I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
right?
Yeah. Well, remember, I just mentioned, Max Crosby's name. Remember, it was I think it was just a month ago. Where,
yes.
Max Crosby was mentioned of, wanting out of Las Vegas. And, people were high and mighty on, go get Max Crosby. Let's go get him. You got to go all in, right? That phrase came up. 49ers need to go all in and try to get him, right? I think we have to be realistic. And like that was part of our conversation. Let's try to be
Yes.
realistic here and say, what can we throw together and present to them without killing us? Like if
That's
they say,
exactly
hey,
it.
we need a quarterback, we believe Brock Purdy is the second coming of Otto Graham. Like we want him. Do we give him up? No. It took us 6 years to find him. Like
No.
look at you, Cleveland.
No, we
It took
don't
you
give
2
up.
decades and you still haven't found a quarterback. We're not going that route.
No.
So
And I mean, when it comes to, the Niners are going to explore their options, folks.
mm-hmm.
Don't be surprised if you see something happen. Just don't
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
You never know, right? John Lynch has pulled off some trades like for Trent Williams, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
He's pulled off some trades. And he gave pretty much a half-eaten hamburger for Trent Williams.
Yeah.
Right?
He did.
So, it's like, let's see what the man can pull off. You never know.
Yep.
Like Max Crosby, I'm on the bus with that, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of it has to do with he has zero guaranteed money on his contract.
Yeah.
So, say we get him, he's under contract for 2 more years, 2026. Yes, folks, I've already looked into it. So, throw a 1-year extension on that, give him some guaranteed money. His cap hit ain't going to kill us for all 3 years.
No.
Right?
We know they know how to keep
So
him, though.
economically and package-wise, it probably makes more sense than going and getting a Myles Garrett. It does.
Yeah.
But we're not the 49ers front office. All this is up to them to figure out.
Exactly. And I'm sure they will. They're working on it. They're doing something because that's what they do. All right, folks, we're getting out of here. This was just a quick hitter. Bam. So let's have a quick discussion to see what we could put together, maybe present in terms of picks, players, etc. Because the Myles Garrett chase is definitely doable. And it's something that we are looking into. I just know it. But David, tell the people what you got going on this week.
Well, we always got Corey Davis 49er Wednesday. And this Wednesday, we'll be doing something that's going to make us all feel like we need to take a shower. And that's pick the Super Bowl.
Oh, lovely. Lovely.
And, off-season talk. We'll get into the trivia at some point in the off-season. We'll do some trivia. But I'm looking for a book that has some random questions like that one Corey had that it was like, who was the special teams coach in 1949?
Oh, wow.
You're like, huh?
Yeah.
How are we supposed to know that?
Yeah. Well, tune in to David on Wednesday. He always has fun. I'm out of here.
Hey, don't forget Saturday.
Next week and Saturdays as well, right?
The mock draft series episode 2 is coming out. So,
all right, good stuff. All right, we're out of here. David's got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. Thank you everybody for coming. Stay faithful. David, take us home.
Hey, it's Go Niners, and as Corey Davis says, F all 31 other teams.
Damn straight.
Especially those 2 in the Super Bowl.
Exactly. See ya.